Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Market Today. Anything and everything that could go right for Indian equities on this Monday afternoon is absolutely in place. You have a very strong show across the board. The Nifty is up 161 points, 25,125. The Bank Nifty is roaring ahead at 600 points. The mid-cap and the small-cap index are in the green. And of course, you have a green tick on the NSE 500 as well. As I have mentioned, anything and everything that could go right is working well for equities. After 4 or 5 days of pause on the Nifty in particular, the index has moved conclusively and strongly away from the 25,000 rupee mark and is now above 25,100. You have a whole host of stocks that are doing extremely well. The rally in particular is fueled by the banking stocks, in particular HDFC Bank. In particular, you have strength coming in across the IT pack. Remember this week, Infosys, Tech Mahindra, HCL Tech today and Wipro will be announcing their second quarter earnings, and you have an equally strong show coming in from the banking side. Today, HDFC Bank is the top contributor on the Nifty, adding about 38 points to its tally on the index. L&T is contributing 23 points, Infosys and ITC 22 points respectively, and ICICI Bank 21. So all top guns are firing on the index as far as the Nifty is concerned. The Bank Nifty is up 1%, mainly because of HDFC Bank and ICICI Bank. Of course, other banks such as Axis, such as SBI, Canara Bank, Federal Bank, all are in the green, and that augurs well for the index in particular. You have strength coming in on the PSU banking side. Look at stocks like all the 12 that make up the Nifty PSU banking basket, and you will see strength there. Broader markets, we don't have a very strong advance decline ratio, but still in the green. 1220 stocks in the green compared with 1140 that are in the red. We track 19 indices for you out of 19. 16 are in the green, led by of course the IT index up 1.3%. You have Wipro, Tech Mahindra, HCL Tech firing all cylinders on the Nifty, and in the F&O space you have Emphasis, Persistent, MCX, all of them rallying pretty strongly as far as the IT index is concerned. What is also showing strength are the two counters, Bombay Stock Exchange and now CDSL. Both of them are top gainers on the NSE 500. The Bombay Stock Exchange now up 6% in the morning, now up about 5.5%, actually 7%. The gain has actually increased. 5,200 crores worth of transactions on the BSE. The CDSL 7.5% higher, 1590. 2,500 crores worth of transactions done on CDSL. The sore point today is DMart. Second quarter earnings were below estimates. The counter has been taken to task, 8.5% lower, and about 1,700 crores worth of transactions have been reported. Today, post market hours, you will see earnings coming in from Reliance Industries. We will be doing an earnings preview for that. Flat as flat can be, at least it is not negative. I would presume that is a big plus. 2744, about below par average of about 1,267 crore shares have been traded. ICICI, HDFC also adding to that fervor. Without further ado, let's welcome Kunal Rambhia, the founder of The Streets, with us. Good afternoon to you, Kunal, and a very warm welcome, sir. How do you see this nice uptick on the Nifty after 4 or 5 days of a sideways band? Is the worst behind us? Are we looking to break past 25,200?
Good afternoon, Shel sir. So yes, definitely. If you look at the Nifty chart, that is from June till now, it's been almost 3.5, 4 months. The Nifty trend is still positive. In fact, during the correction, I had the opportunity to discuss with our viewers at that time when the vertical decline came in. The only ray of hope for me was the previous bottom, which was of 9th September low, which was 24,750. And see, this time also it held on to that particular support and it continued. So yes, for the trend following approach, I think this is the perfect level where one can think of, accumulating the good quality counters where the conviction is really very high. I think the trend is intact, and we can definitely expect the previous high, which is 26,000, very soon.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, on 9th of October, we hit a high of 25,234, and after that, the index went into a sideways zone. Today's high is 25,159, and we are now caught between 5-day and 8-day exponential moving average. I'm sure we'll break past it given the strength that we are seeing in the entire IT pack as also banking stocks. So keep your eyes and ears peeled. Let us see how the index moves from current levels. Before we take this conversation further, Kunal, would you want to comment on CDSL?
Sure, sir. Now, these are the counters which are, as I told you, are very trending in nature. CDSL, we again discussed just, I think, last week only, when I think I was with the colleague of yours. So CDSL is just in sideways consolidation. Trend is absolutely positive. The strong support on the chart is 1350, and the resistance on the chart is 1610. Look at today's high, it's 1615, and it's right now trading at 1595. For a trend following person, it's just an amazing counter to stay hold on. The stop loss, trailing stop loss on this can be 1475. If someone wants to create a new position, just wait for the closing above 1610. If the counter manages to close above 1610, I think then the targets are open till 1815 to 1900 kind of levels. So just for a while, we need to wait. If someone is already holding, then enjoy the rally.
Okay. CDSL, which is Central Depository Services Limited, has just announced a 1:1 bonus, which is effective in the price. Effectively, what you see is 3,200 rupees. So please keep this in mind when you look at the counter. The all-time high was seen 2 weeks ago, and the price was 1664. The reason why CDSL and BSE, now I'll request the PCR to show the chart of the Bombay Stock Exchange. We will just mark it. There is no point chasing this kind of a momentum. This is right there in front of you. Today's volume is exceptional. We have already 5,300 crores traded, and the 5-7-day average is much lower. Would you want to comment on BSE, Kunal? On 13th of September, exactly 1 month ago, the counter was at 2,800 rupees, ladies and gentlemen. From then to 4,800 in a span of 22 trading sessions. Kunal, your view on the Bombay Stock Exchange?
See, Shell sir, again, we have been discussing this trend following approach since quite a long time with our viewers. Now look at the trend. This counter actually gave the first breakout somewhere on 26th and 27th of August, where it came out of massive consolidation. And since then, it's just been making higher top, higher bottom. And even today, it's not showing any signs of weakness as such. It's trading at 4,850. So yes, with the trailing stop loss of 4,200, one can definitely hold on to it. But at this point in time, I will not really advise a fresh entry because of unfavorable risk reward ratio. Let the counter cool off a bit and come near to these support levels of 4,200, 4,300. Fresh entry can be taken at that time. But if someone is already holding it, then with the trailing stop loss of 4,250, one can definitely stay on this counter.
Okay, fair point. And the reason why I point CDSL along with the BSE is twofold. If you see the probability, it's 1:1. On a day and month and week that the BSE rises, the CDSL follows suit. And it will be in interest of many people to know that 15% equity of CDSL is held by the Bombay Stock Exchange. So it's a feed, which essentially means if the stock of CDSL rises, then the imputed value of BSE's 15% stake increases, and therefore BSE goes up. CDSL goes up, seeing BSE. So it's a virtual cycle that comes into play. These two stocks are the top traded on the National Stock Exchange today. Let's focus on another counter, DMart. An 8% drop in today's earnings as far as in second quarter earnings as far as the counter is concerned. Kunal, what do you see the chart in terms of what this breakdown has happened? Is there more pain ahead?
So, Shay sir, now again we come to the daily chart and see the high of 7th December 2023. That high was taken out decisively on 21st March 2024, and that level was 4150 to 4170 kind of levels.
Yes.
And from there, with a clear higher top, higher bottom, counter went up till 5500 levels. And now we are witnessing the same level coming again. So for now, I think the downside on this counter is just very limited because of this support level available. 4150 is the benchmark level which one needs to keep in mind. If the counter consolidates near this level, then I think this can be a good opportunity to accumulate the counter. Let's not catch the falling knife right now, but keep a watch on it. 4150 should not be broken. If the counter manages to stay above that level, then with some kind of consolidation, we can definitely consider this from buying point of view.
Okay. Now, let me just give you the quarterly performance of Avenue Supermarts, which was announced yesterday. Second quarter profit is 659 crores. Year ago, this number was 623 crores. So, there's barely a move. Okay. A quarter ago, it was 774 crores. So, Q on Q, the number has actually gone down. Now, why has it gone down? Because DMart has acknowledged that quick commerce, which is from the likes of Zomato, from the likes of Zepto, is hurting its revenues and its profit and profitability. Similarly, second quarter sales are at 14,444 crores compared with 14,069 crores in the June quarter and 12,624 crores in the year ago quarter. So, sales have improved, but the rise in profit is not commensurate. So, please keep this in mind, and that's the reason why you see the sharp sell off today, which is about 7-8%, and of course, from its most recent high of 5,400 rupees, which was there 20-30 days ago, Avenue Supermarts has fallen. And where has that money gone? It's gone into Zomato. Let's see the chart of Zomato, ladies and gentlemen. This is now consolidating at record highs. Yes. And the all time high is 299. We are at 279. Last 4 weeks, the counter has done nothing. Kunal, what are the long term charts of Zomato telling you?
So, Shell sir, again, Zomato is an absolutely trending counter, and if you look at the recent bottom, which was made somewhere in the beginning of October, I think that bottom is 260. So, till the time the counter remains above this 260 to 245 zone, I think one can definitely consider this as a buy on dip counter. Not immediate movement is seen, so there is no point in buying at 280. But yeah, if the counter cools off a bit, then with the stop loss of 245, 250 zone, one can definitely accumulate this if someone likes to ride the rally. Probably because of this 3-4 weeks of consolidation, the time correction might just be on the way. So I think the sideways consolidation may get extended for a month or so. But yeah, the trending counter, so certainly worth buying near 260 levels.
Okay, fair point. What we'll do is we will again dip into the broader markets, just see what is the volume picture as of now, and then again get back to Kunal. Meanwhile, Kunal, any two charts apart from BSE and CDSL where you see strong outperformance happening, what would you like to talk about?
So, Shelsey, the first counter which I like the most at this point in time is Angel. Angel one now, I mean, again, we all have seen the counter going up to 3,900, and from there, somewhere in the month of August, it made the bottom of 2,000. Now it's consolidating sideways and trying to come out of the broader consolidation. Falling wedge breakout has already happened, and today during the market, it showed the first sideways consolidation breakout. It made a high of 2830. Right now, it's available at 27.50. I think momentum is just already picked up. The counter should close about 27.75, 2775. Now, that will be the breakout point. With the stop loss of 2700, one can definitely buy this counter. I think the targets on this can be 3250 to 3300. That's the first counter. And the second is HCC. This counter is showing good momentum since yesterday. Yesterday, it was up by, I guess, around 7.5%. Today, it's up by 4%. Falling wedge formation breakout has again happened on the chart. So I think with the stop loss of 42, one can definitely buy HCC and the targets can be 48.5 to 49.
Okay, fair point. Let's look at other stocks where you see a strong volume show accompanied by news events and, of course, positivity. Let's look at Wipro. This is now trending in terms of both volume as well as price. The company has announced over the weekend that on 16th and 17th of October, it will be discussing a bonus issue. And let's first get a view on the chart as far as Kunal is concerned. Kunal, what are the long-term charts of Wipro telling you? This is, of course, also a company that will be announcing its quarterly results this week, maybe tomorrow.
Share sir, the first peak was seen in January 2022 near 720. From there,
Okay.
we saw massive correction and then counter entered into sideways consolidation for almost 1.5 years. The first breakout was in December, during December 2023. That breakout was at around 450. Then it went up to 550. It retested that breakout zone right in May 2024. And now it's reached 550. So this entire formation looks like correction, consolidation, breakout, retesting, and follow through buying.
Yeah.
Now this chart is suggesting the high of 720 to 725. So I think with the stop loss of 520, one can definitely buy this counter. The first breakout is 550 followed by 565. Above that, the target can be 720.
Okay. Now, let me give you a very interesting statistics about Wipro. I'll request the PCR to possibly fire the longest term chart that they can find on Wipro. And here is the most interesting data. In the last 50 years of its listing, this will be the 14th bonus that the company will be giving. The last bonus was announced in 2019, and typically, you know, you've had a 1:1 kind of a situation as far as the bonus history is concerned. And this is from 14th October, from 2014 October, so that makes it a 10-year price history. You have a high of 721 and, of course, 162 where it started. So it's been an extremely investor friendly stock in terms of how it has rewarded long term shareholders, although the performance of the company in terms of profit and sales and profitability has been under par when you compare it with the likes of HCL Tech, with the likes of Infosys, with the likes of TCS. Nevertheless, an extremely profitable company, and who would have thought that a vegetable oil maker, it is actually Western India, let me just get the right name, but this was a vegetable oil maker based out of Gujarat and is now India's probably 4th largest tech company. So that's what is happening as far as prices are concerned on Wipro. Let's look at the broader markets and get Kunal's view on HDFC Bank. Kunal, the main driver for both the Nifty and the Bank Nifty. What are the charts of HDFC Bank telling you?
So, Shel sir, now on the weekly chart, let's just discuss the long-term chart. So that's from 2021, October 2021. This counter is consistently facing the resistance of 1720 to 1750 zone. How many times we have seen that particular high? Almost 6 times. And the recent high that was on 23rd September, which was near to 1788, the closing was 1750, and again we saw the decline coming in. It's consolidating near the high, but I think the 1700 30, 40, 50 zone, which is acting as a strong resistance since 3 years, is very important for the counter to take out on the closing basis. So until this counter gives a closing above 1750, I will not be really keen to stay invested for long. But if someone is willing to play for the short term, then today's low can be good stop loss. 1650 can be good stop loss. One can initiate a buy, and the first target can be 1730. I think near that level, one should take an exit. Wait for the consolidation to give a breakout on the higher side to initiate positional longs. But for short term trade, I think risk reward ratio is 1 is to 3 with the stop loss of 1650. The targets can be 1730.
Okay, I'll also use this opportunity to mark all-time highs in the market because there is so much of buoyancy. Some of the names that are upon us we've marked many times, but let me just add some new names. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Oberoi Realty into a different orbit. You'll see a digit change after many decades. 998. 1999. Let's just see what's the all-time high for today. Has it crossed above 2000? Yes, it has. All-time high is 2012. So a fresh peak on Oberoi Realty. Let's look at Motilal Oswal Financial Services. Ladies and gentlemen, we need to bring this point to your attention that a lot of brokerage stocks are doing very well. Remember, Kunal's pick has been angel broking. We've marked BSE and CDSL. Motilal Oswal Financial Services is at a record high. This again is a 1:1 bonus, which is effective in the price. And apart from these companies, a lot of other brokers in the listed space are doing very well. Edelweiss 3.2% higher. Anand Rathi 1.2% higher. Of course, earnings at Anand Rathi were very good. We had discussed them on Friday. You have IIFL a percent higher, Nuvama 0.6% higher, HDFC, MC, JM Financial, all of them in the green. And this is a space that is doing pretty well, led of course by BSE. I also want to see the price of MCX. Needless to say, it will also be at a record high, 64.86. Yes, 1.2% higher. This is also a counter which has done phenomenally well. Kunal, your view on MCX?
Absolutely trending counter, sir. In fact, the last 5 days have been really massive, from 5,750 to 6,500, and it's just not stopping. Now that's the advantage of trend following. But for the breakout, again, I will not really advise fresh entry at this level because of unfavorable risk reward ratio. By any chance, if the counter comes near to 6,150, 6,200, definitely one should revisit and find out the support at that time and initiate a buy and stay invested until there is a lower top, lower bottom. I think these counters are worth staying invested for long.
Okay, fair point. So, ladies and gentlemen, the two exchanges, BSE and MCX. Remember, just last week, the final order was passed by the Securities Exchange of Board of India, where the exchanges, both the NSE and the BSE, informed their, how should I say, the broader public at large that from November 20th onwards, the weekly expiries on Bank Nifty, Fin Nifty, Midcap Nifty, BankX and Bank Nifty will be stopped. And that's a big negative for the NSE. And the reason why the BSE is appreciating is that there is a view in the market that the BSE will win market share away from the NSE. The NSE, ladies and gentlemen, is still in the unlisted space. We really don't know what the trading price of NSE is. Last it was heard, it was somewhere like 1500, 1600 rupees per share in the unlisted space, and that is also getting reflected in the price of NSE. Okay, 255, ladies and gentlemen. Before we let you go, Kunal, October is a record high in place on the Nifty.
Shell, sir, honestly speaking, October, so remaining 10 to 11 days, I really doubt whether new high is possible. But one thing is looks likely as of now on the chart, that the new low is least possible. The low which we saw is 24,700. I think that should remain protected for next 1.5 month time, and the rally might just continue. So by December, we can expect definitely probably the new high, but the low should get protected. I think that's the perfect view, with the help of which we can create new positions.
Okay, and before we let you go, Kunal, today afternoon we will see Reliance Industries declaring its numbers. We'll just draw the long-term chart for Reliance in front of you, below 200-day DMA. Although it's difficult to comment on, the chart before earnings are out, but just a ballpark understanding of the chart that you have.
Absolutely, Shelter. I'm actually very comfortable without looking at the result, speaking about the charts. The reason being the bias phase is taken care of. January 29, 2024, the counter made the first massive move of around 7%. That low was 27.20. The same bottom was seen on 4th June. The low was 27.18. And since last 5 days, you can see the bottom is near 27.25. So this 2700 zone seems a very strong support on the Reliance. If someone wants to definitely accumulate this counter, this level seems a good level, because for the entire year of 2024, that level is not broken. So with this stop loss of 2700, one can definitely buy. Let's wait for the result. I mean, even if the price goes up, the same stop loss is available in the market at 2700. One can initiate a buy, and the targets can again be 3000 levels.
Okay. Kunal, thank you so much for this
Pleasure, sir.
wonderful interaction. I'll remember Angel 1 from your side.
Thank you so much, sir.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we'll now get a team member, Asim, to join us. He will give you a peek into the earnings of expectations of earnings as far as RIL is concerned, and this long-term charts tell you that somewhere in 9th of July, the counter was at 3190, and it's dipped all the way to 2756, which is a loss of about 10%. Asim, what are the brokerages thinking in terms of net profit as well as sales expectation from Reliance in the quarter gone by?
Yeah, thanks, LG. So Reliance is expected to report a 11 to 13% year-on-year drop in net profit for the September quarter on the back of flattish net sales. This is as per the consensus estimates by brokerages. And RIL's upstream business may record a marginal fall in production, while a higher profit petroleum share of government may dent margins, analysts had said. The weak performance at core oil to chemicals business is likely to be partly offset by the healthy performance in consumer-facing businesses. The ARPU figures post the recent tariff hike for Jio will be in focus in the RIL's quarterly results today. Brokerage JM Financial expects a 11% year-on-year drop in profit at rupees 15,518 crore. It sees sales at rupees 2.30 lakh crore, down 0.5% on a year-on-year basis. Gross refining margins are seen at $7.2 per barrel against implied GRM of 7.7 per dollar in quarter one of FY25. The brokerage sees Jio's ARPU at rupees 194, led by tariff hikes. Another brokerage, ICICI Securities, expects RIL to log a 11% fall in profit to rupees 15,400 crore. Sales are seen rising 4% year-on-year to rupees 2.4 lakh crore. Nuvama Institutional Equities expects the profit to fall 13% to rupees 15,120 crore. It sees sales at rupees 2.33 lakh crore, up 0.5%. It expects 0.6% year-on-year fall in RIL's consolidated EBITDA, mainly hurt by a weak oil to chemicals business, partly offset by healthy performance from the consumer businesses. Additionally, Reliance Industries is seen announcing the record date for its 1:1 bonus share
Correct.
issue along with the September quarter results today. It had announced this 6th bonus issue on September 5. Back to you, Shalji.
Yeah, I think that's a wonderful thing to look at. The the record date for the effectiveness of the bonus issue should also be announced. Remember, the bonus came when the counter was 3,100 rupees. It's now at 27. So if you want to buy the bonus and be eligible eligible for it, you will get some more time, but you might not get the price that you see today. So once the record date is known, the possibility of Reliance retracing all that it has lost will be far higher. So the risk reward on the long side is far better than what it was maybe 2 months ago. So please keep that in mind. And with that, let's shift focus to our next guest. We will shortly be joined by Mr. Ruchit Jain, lead research analyst at 5paisa.com. Okay, Ruchit ji is with us. Good afternoon and a very warm welcome, Ruchit. What a pleasure to have you.
Very good afternoon,
What are
sir.
the charts?
Yeah.
What are the charts telling you? And any 2 or 3 stocks which you feel present a good opportunity on the long side? Is the worst behind us as far as markets are concerned? Nifty at the moment is at 25,120, 154 points higher. It's the bank Nifty which is doing all sorts of great things. 600 points higher, 51,770. Ruchit.
Yeah, hi, very good afternoon. Well, recently we had seen that this correction which was there in the first half of the October month was mainly because of FIIs selling. Well, when FIIs started their October series with a long short ratio of about 81%, they unwound their long positions, went short, sold in the cash segment, and hence we have seen such a decline. But now I think things have stabilized since last 2 or 3 trading sessions. Their long short ratio is stable around 35%. So although they have more short positions, but the positive thing in this is they are not forming new shorts further, right? So 65% positions are on the short side, and the kind of support that the market is the market is forming around this 24,700, 600 kind of range. If they start covering these short positions from here on, then we should see a decent pullback move in the markets. Now, from a very short term perspective, 25,235, which is the swing high of last week, that needs to be taken out for a good momentum to resume in the Nifty. And on the lower side, 25 or 24,700 seems to be, we have formed a strong support base over here. So the momentum seems to be positive, but we are just awaiting a breakout above that 25,235, 240 for a confirmation. Bank Nifty certainly, seems certainly seems that it would show some more relative outperformance, since we have seen that this up move in last 2 or 3 trading sessions which have come has been led mainly by the private sector heavyweights, where the weightage is more. You look stocks such as HDFC Bank started rebounding from lower levels. Kotak Bank has been doing well. ICICI Bank again has started showing a good support base over here. So I think this is one sector which could take the leadership now from here on. And we could, in case if this up move continues, then I think 53,000 also could also be seen on the banking index. So as far as momentum goes, it's continuously it is turning positive until this previous lows are not breached again. The recent swing lows last week, they are not breached again. I think one should look for buying opportunities only.
Fair point. I think highlighting Kotak is a great way forward. This is a stock which perhaps is coming out of its own shadow. And let me just share this interesting data with everybody. Let's look at how Kotak has performed from the beginning of this expiry in relation with the other banks. Okay, Kotak is flat. Let's just compare it with Axis Bank, which is down 9%, ICICI Bank, which is down 7%, and IndusInd Bank, which is down 6%. Let me just come out with another software. I just want to sort of highlight the outperformance of Kotak in relation to other private sector banks, and possibly this software will help me. Okay, not much, but for the month to date, which is from the close of September 30th, Kotak is up 3%. What are the others doing? HDFC Bank is down 2.5%, ICICI Bank down 3.2%, Axis down 5.5%. So that's the outperformance. I wish I could give you better tailwind as far as Kotak's performance is concerned. No. So that is what we'll have to do with. Any other banks, Kunal? My apologies to you. I just wanted to understand any other banks in the PSU space, Ruchit, which are doing pretty well. You have a 12:0 advance decline in the Nifty PSU index. What looks good?
In the PSU index, you always see that leadership generally comes from the heavyweight SBI. And once SBI gives a confirmation that we would see a trended up move in this heavyweight, then I think other mid-sized PSU names follow. In SBI, if you look at last 1 month, since the first week of September, 812, 813 has been the resistance. Now, there was a huge gap down opening on 6th of September. There was a huge correction post a gap down opening on 6th of September, and that 6th September's high is 813. So today's high you can see is 809. So since that 6th of September, we have not seen SBI crossing that 812, 813 mark. And once that high is crossed, I think then the leadership would come to PSU Bank. So as of now, I'm waiting for that breakout. And once the SBI manages to surpass 813, then I think first leadership would be taken from this name. Then stocks such as Bank of Baroda is there, PNB is there, which is trading around its support. I think those names would follow.
Okay, let's look at some fine outperformances that are happening today. Phenolics Industries, this is the wire maker, 319, 6.5% higher. You have a strong show on Federal Bank. Let's look at this counter, 5.2% higher, 197. And of course, there is no stopping KFinTech. Okay, let's look at KFinTech. This is again a back-end services provider to 20% of the mutual fund industry. 80% market is controlled by CAMS, but a very strong chart on KFinTech as well. Ruchit, what do you feel at 1080? I think the all-time high for KFinTech is somewhere like 1300. Let me just check. But meantime, what are the charts of KFinTech telling you?
So the stock has went through a consolidation phase since the month of August, and the all-time high which it registered in this phase was around 1189. But in this entire consolidation, the stock has managed to form a good support base around 970, 980. Whether you look at on 14th of August, the low was 980. Then again on 26th of August, low was 976. Then again when the stock price went higher and corrected, at the start of October, the low was around 980. So it has been 3 or 4 occasions in last couple of months when the stock comes near 980, 970, forms a support, and again we witness a buying interest over there. So I think that is where a good support base is seen. Until that is intact, I think the overall trend remains positive. The entire consolidation that we've seen in last 1.5 months just seems to be a time-wise correction within an uptrend. I think with the stop loss below 970, one can look for fresh buying as well in KFinTech over here.
Okay. Anything in the mid cap or the small cap space which interests you, Ruchit? We've seen in last week that while Nifty and Bank Nifty have remained quiet, but the advance decline ratio on mids and small was really good. What looks good in the charts? What are you advising clients to do?
The Federal Bank, which you just spoke
Yes.
about, that is looking quite interesting amongst the mid-cap banking space. After this correction, the 100 DMA has acted as a good support base for Federal Bank, and 185, 183 was that 100 DMA level. Okay. And exactly from that levels, we have seen a price up move today. So I think this should resume its uptrend, and we could see recent swing highs of 205, 207, which was that could get it. So if one has to, the entire sector one is there. And private sector banks are doing well, and within that, this stock is showing a good outperformance. Price volume action is good. So Federal Bank, I think, can be preferred within the mid-cap banking space.
Okay, all-time high of Federal Bank, ladies and gentlemen, was 206, and again we saw that happening in 13th of August. So exactly September, October, 3 months later, 2 months later, you have it at 197, and today is actually a very strong breakout. It's a bounce from 21 EMA, and there are no EMAs above this, which essentially means a nice blue sky territory. If 199 is taken out, which it should be, then you have a nice good rally happening. Okay, 310, ladies and gentlemen. Let's look at some other stocks. Oberoi Realty, Ruchit. What are your views? 2012 is the all-time high hit today. Should that be chased?
And this is just another breakout stock which you have seen. Now, since the month of June, the stock was consolidating with a broad range of 1950 to 1700. We have seen that there were 3 occasions when the stock came near that 1700 mark, again reversed from those levels, and 1700 was also the 100-day exponential moving average. And in this entire consolidation phase, 1960 was the resistance which has been taken out today. And if we look at today's volumes, it's much better than the daily average volume. So generally, whenever we see price breakout supported by good volumes, no, this trend should continue on the higher side. But the only thing is that in last 4 trading sessions itself, the stock has rallied from 1750 to 2000 now. So I won't suggest buying 100% at current levels, but in case if the at current levels, one can look for buying some quantity. And if we get any pullback move, to retest the breakout level or some kind of pullback move would be seen in next few trading sessions, then that should be used as an opportunity to add more positions over there. So gradual buying can be done in Oberoi Realty as well. And within the realty space, today's breakout clearly indicates a relative outperformance. So if the entire sector moves higher, then I think that outperformance should continue in Oberoi Realty.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is one of those very expensive stocks as far as the financials are concerned. 72,000 crores is the market capitalization. Now look at the most interesting part. Revenue is 5,000 crores and profit after tax is 2,189 crores. I'm talking about past 12-month earnings. Oberoi Realty is the crown jewel of real estate companies based out of Mumbai, and it has done phenomenally well for its shareholders. Year to date, the counter is up 38%. In the last 5 years alone, each year, the stock has appreciated 32%, and still it trades in a reasonable price to its 5-year median PE. Let's look at the 5-year price to book ratio. Okay, this is slightly high. The median is 2.8 and the current price to book is 5 times. That's expensive. Nevertheless, in India, one thing has to be understood. महंगी चीज़ और महंगी होती है और सस्ती चीज़ सस्ती रह जाती है. Okay, 3:13 p.m. Ruchit, what looks good in the charts? We've talked about a lot of stocks on the long side. Do you see any breakdowns happening?
Since the trend does not seem to be negative for the indices, so I would avoid any such breakdown stocks, and rather focus would be more the stocks which can potentially do well. Now within the IT names, Tech Mahindra is one stock which is catching my eye today. Throughout the day, we have seen some good momentum, and this is also one stock which is given a breakout. You look at post that US interest rate cut which was there. After that, the IT stocks have not rallied. They have not participated in this market uptrend, and they went through a consolidation phase. Now, all these stocks within the heavyweights, if we see Infosys was there, even Tech Mahindra was there. Nifty IT index, if we see that itself, had consolidated above its 40-day exponential moving average, and Tech Mahindra is first one to give a breakout from this consolidation today. So I think if we look at individual chart of Tech Mahindra, then the stock has potential to rally towards 1760, 1780 kind of range. So this is one stock where fresh buying could be done in last closing minutes.
Okay, Tech Mahindra. Now this is an interesting counter. In the afternoon show, we had a gentleman asking about views on Tech Mahindra. Again, let me repeat, this counter along with the 3 others, which is Wipro, HCL Tech and Infosys, will be reporting its second quarter earnings this week, and that's the reason why you see a lot of pre-earnings buoyancy. All-time high of Tech Mahindra is 1880. That was hit in December 2021. So it's still far away. Nevertheless, the direction of the trend is clear. There was a record high on the Nasdaq on Friday, and a part of that move has also sort of got reflected. Not exactly a record high, but the all-time high on the Nasdaq is 18,671. They were at 18,372. Nevertheless, a very strong move. The Nasdaq is also headed higher. So that's the reason why you see a very nice buoyancy in Tech Mahindra as well. Let's look at Infosys. On Thursday, Infosys hit a record high. Ruchit, what are the charts of Infosys telling you?
Well, still consolidating since the start of September, but good thing is that the stock has not broken below its 40 EMA in this entire consolidation. 1870 is a very crucial support. So till that 1870 levels intact, the trend is not negative, and the breakout will come above 1977, 1975. So not far from those levels now. 1975 was the recent swing high on 27th of September. So the follow-up move would be more important in next 1 or 2 days trading sessions. If the stock gives a breakout above 1975, then I think one can look for fresh buying in this counter.
Okay, 316, ladies and gentlemen. Let's now try and see some other parts of the PSU segments which are doing well. Let's look at defense. Any sustained move coming in? Okay, we have Hindustan Aeronautics 1.6% higher. Over the weekend, HAL announced that it's become a Maharatna. This is a government company which Maharatna status. This is the 14th Maharatna in the PSU setup that we have, and it allows Maharatnas to take more independent decisions, look at bigger projects without seeking the government's permission, and of course it gets better interest rates in terms of loans and has better decision making. Apart from Hindustan Aeronautics, there is Idea Forge, which is up 1%, but nothing much happening in the in the defense space today. How about wagon makers? All quiet. How about PSUs? We have discussed a lot of banks. Okay. Yes, National Aluminium. Ruchit, all-time high on this one. What are the charts of Nalco telling you? A more better move ahead?
Yes, I think there should be good outperformance within the metal space. If you look at the entire metal basket, I think that 2 or 3 names stand out. One would be JSW Steel, Hindalco, and National Aluminium. These are 3 names where which are trading around their respective all-time highs only. So there is a clear outperformance now. As per the retracements of the previous corrections, 237, 238 is the initial resistance. We are almost near those levels. Once this gets surpassed, then 260 could be seen in the short term. So I think overall trend still remains positive. If any existing long positions are there, they should continue to hold on. Fresh buying also could be done over here. The support base for the stock in the near term is around 210. So one can keep a stop loss below 210 and take exposure from a short term perspective.
Okay. What we'll do is look at another stock before we ask Ruchit to talk about BTST or STBT. Aptus Housing. A record high here, and this is based on very strong volumes. In fact, early morning we had marked this one, it was up 10%. Aptus value, Ruchit, what are the charts telling you? The volume is substantial today, about 1 crore 83 lakh shares.
Volumes are very high, and also
Yes.
a high top high bottom structure is there. So structure looks quite positive. Previous swing highs were around 400 and today's high is around 402. So I think if the stock manages to surpass this resistance of 400, then we could see good trended phase towards maybe 440 kind of range in very short term. So overall structure looks positive. So 440 could be expected once we see sustainable move above 400 mark.
Okay. 320. Ruchit, what chances that you will have a green tick on the markets tomorrow, and should that be the case, what would be your strategy for the Nifty, the Bank Nifty? We've been tracking for our viewers the 25-100 Nifty call expiring on October 17th. Your view there?
So yes, structure looks positive. Today's up move, as we said, has been led by heavyweights. Even IT has participated and banking has also participated. So I think if these heavyweights continue their momentum tomorrow, then we should see at least 25,240 to 50 kind of level, which was the last week's high. And if that gets surpassed, then I think market should see a good trended phase. So one can take a chance on the long side itself because there's no point going against today's trend. And if one has to focus on any stock specific opportunity for BTST or for near term, then HDFC Life Insurance looks good over here. After a consolidation, the stock is on the verge of breakout from this consolidation high of 740. And if you manage to surpass this level today at closing, then we can expect new highs again in the stock towards 760, 765. So HDFC Life is looking good to carry home today.
Okay. I think it's an all-time high which the counter is approaching. The previous effort failed. The all-time high is 768, hit in August 2021, 4 years ago. And somewhere in September 24, again the counter tried to hit an all-time high, again unsuccessful. Let's hope this time it succeeds. Remember, today NIACL and GIC Ray are also amongst the gainers. These are insurers from the government side, and in particular these three counters have been value destroyers. The kind of wealth that has been created by ICICI General Insurance as also SBI Life is far higher than the less than mediocre performance of HDFC Life, despite its premium products, despite its brand name, and despite its reach. A lot of long term shareholders have been very disappointed with HDFC Life, and let me give you this example. In November of 2017, HDFC Life was listed at 322 rupees. In 8 years from then on, 7 years from then on, you haven't even had a 100% return. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is a very, how should I say, mediocre performance of a company whose rivals are doing very well, but this one refuses to click. Maybe now is the time, but only time will tell whether the time is now or a little later. 3:23 p.m. ladies and gentlemen, 7 minutes left to for the market to end this lovely Monday afternoon. Ruchit, anything that you are observing which I may have missed?
I think we have spoken most of the outperformers. So as we said, good thing is that there is a participation from both banking as well as the IT names. Tomorrow, I think another major thing that we would watch out for is another heavyweight Reliance Industries, which would be declaring its numbers today. So I think this is one stock again which is trading around its support. If we look at the daily or the weekly charts, then there's a strong support coming around 2680, 27 kind of range. Now the positive thing is that the stock has already corrected before the numbers, and many times we see then when the investors or traders are very conservative, and any positive surprises if come in the numbers compared to the expectations, I think that should lead to a good buying momentum because the stock has not participated all in this up move and it's quite close to its support level. So I think this is one stock which would be very crucial to watch out how the numbers come out in terms of expectations. If the numbers are better, then because the stock has not participated, and then we could see a good buying interest in this over here. So the risk reward ratio is very favorable in Reliance Industries for taking contra longs over here.
Okay, and how about L&T in the same breath, around 200-day DMA? What are the charts of L&T telling you?
So L&T, I think one should look more from a long-term perspective.
Yes.
I would not see from a very short-term perspective because the stock is in a time-wise corrective phase since last 6 months. The stock has not delivered any significant returns in last 6 months, but on the same time, the longer-term trend is not negative. So it just seemed to be a time-wise correction within an uptrend. So L&T also one can look for buying, but no, this would be not a short-term trading stock, but rather at least 2 to 3 quarters view if one has, then one can expect good returns in this.
Fair point. Let's start wrapping up the markets, ladies and gentlemen. Only 5 minutes are left. So Mondays turned out to be a good day for the bulls. We had 4 or 5 days of sideways trend on the Nifty in the past week, and it's sort of shaken off its ennui and how should I say consolidative phase. We are mostly trying to end near the day's high, and that's primarily driven by very strong counters. This is how the market should move up. HDFC Bank contributing 41 points, ending near day's high. L&T contributing 21 points. Infosys chipping in at 26 points. Remember, Infosys is nearing a record high. So look at the index heavyweights which are there in the top 5: HDFC Bank, Infosys, ICICI Bank. What is Reliance doing ahead of its earnings? Without a doubt is showing strength. Reliance at the moment is 6 rupees 80 higher, 27.51. In the broader markets, you have the bank Nifty coming up 600 points higher. Let's look at the final number on the bank Nifty. We have 51,848. Please allow me to give you the numbers. Okay, again days high, 683 points higher. The small cap index is up 0.5%, the mid cap index is up 0.2%, and amongst the sectoral indices, IT, realty, financial services and the mid cap select are doing very well. In fact, we tracked 19 indices for you, 18 of them are in the green. So you can well imagine that the overall texture of the market is really good, and that augurs well for the earnings season. This week will be the busiest. The IT pack will be through, then banking will come in, and of course the big boy Reliance Industries comes up today. If there is a positive announcement somehow, then the trigger on the Nifty will be very sharp, because Reliance has corrected very sharply over the last 10 odd trading sessions. I will request the PCR to fire a long term chart of Reliance. In July it was at 3200, and we have seen it coasting around 2650, 2600 just 2 or 3 days ago. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, let's see what else is of interest. Amongst the new highs, Ruchit, let's mark the ones in the mid cap 100 index. Okay. Persistent Systems 2.65% higher. Divi's Labs, Trent 81.97, there is no stopping Trent, and of course HCL Tech ahead of its earnings. Let's look at the mid cap space. Any strong names that I can think of? Dixon Technologies. Ruchit, do you want to stick your neck out at 15,261? Even I don't want to ask, but a record high which is being chased very well.
So there are some stocks such as this Dixon Technologies is there, Trent is there. There's no point fighting against the trend over there.
Absolutely,
Right, so,
absolutely.
Right, so
well said.
Whatever if one may think that the stock has already rallied, the prices are very high, valuations are very high, just don't go against the trend is names. Any dip is getting bought into, whether market corrects, whether market goes sideways, the stocks are going up. So better to stay with the trend in this name rather than taking any other trade in these.
Okay, I'll request the PCR to fire a long term chart of Dixon Technologies. Ladies and gentlemen, what you see as 15,260 is actually a 75,000 rupee stock. This is a 5-for-1 split that has happened, and the longer term chart that you can make, you will see the stock at 3,000 rupees. Just a moment, I'll tell you when it was at 3,000 rupees. I think it was in April of 2023. 1 second, I distinctly remember having a conversation with one of the very long term holders of Dixon, and he did say that you were missing out a great story. Okay, this was at 3,200, 3,300 rupees in 22nd of May, 3,100 rupees. So in less than 18 months, the counter has given a 5x return, ladies and gentlemen. Even at 3,000 rupees, it was very expensive. But as I have said, in India, महंगी चीज़ ही और महंगी होती है. And it was when the stock split was announced in October of 2021, the counter was at 6,000 rupees. It corrected to 3,000 rupees. So 50% correction. Yes, that is what you can see. A 50% correction from October 21 to 23, and from then on a 5x. These are what dreams are made of, ladies and gentlemen. In the 5-year period, as our graph very rightly says, the counter has gone up by 24 times. A 24-time multi-bagger, ladies and gentlemen, right in front of our eyes. 3:31, ladies and gentlemen, let's call it a day. Thank you, Ruchit, and what a lovely discussion we had. We'll look up the charts that you've mentioned with great interest, and let's hope Reliance works according to the chart that you mentioned. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's call it a day. I'll just wrap up the markets. Nifty, day's high, 24,144. Nifty Bank, 705 points higher. Again, day's high, a strong close on mids and smalls, and of course, the Sensex also ending 81,973, up 592 points. Tuesday, we will see another green tick, and let's hope we are well on our way to break past 25,250, which was the most recent high of the index hit mid last week. Thank you for watching. Please continue being on Business Today Television. There is a very, very exciting gentleman who will be the market master for today, being interviewed by Managing Editor Siddharth Saraf. Stay tuned.
It is well recognized that growing digitalization of financial services has enhanced the efficiency of financial sector across the globe. At the same time, it has brought in several challenges which central banks have to deal with. For instance, in the modern world with deep social media presence and vast access to online banking with money transfer happening in seconds, rumors and misinformation can spread very quickly and can cause liquidity stress. Banks have to remain alert in the social media space and also strengthen their liquidity buffers. Latest technological advancements such as artificial intelligence and machine learning have